Don't mind the bed. I was literally just sleeping and I got up because I couldn't stop thinking about this. Like I just shot this YouTube video and it was like 49 minutes long and I have to redo it because I kind of went on an emotional tangent, but I'm going to still speak on the same topic and I want to be as transparent as I can with you guys, but because of certain things in my life, I can't tell the complete truth online yet because there's things in my life that will dramatically change if I give every part of me. And the goal is to put myself in a position where I can give every single piece of me to you guys and to my community and to my people. But for the time being, I can't do that or it will shift a lot of things. But I'm gonna speak on the same thing. You could tell a little bit like my face is a little swollen because I just got my wisdom teeth pulled out on Monday, and I want to talk about how getting my wisdom teeth out was like the biggest blessing in disguise, right? Um, like God shows up in our life, and He's always going to do for us what we can't do for ourselves, and that's literally what He did by taking my wisdom teeth out. This week has allowed me to be quiet because I couldn't talk, and I do a lot of talking for for my community on here, YouTube, on Instagram, with my podcast, and for work. But this week I kind of, it was like God was telling me to shut up and pay attention and listen, right? Um, and being that I had to shut up and listen and pay attention, this week it gave me the time and space I needed to reflect and introspect on a lot of things in my life. Um, this situation with my wisdom teeth has removed one of the biggest burdens that I've been dealing with for a while now. Simply because of the medication they put me on. It's put me in a position mentally, physically, and spiritually I've been trying to reach that I wasn't able to get to by myself. So that's why I say God was doing for me what I couldn't do for myself, right? And during this week, I had the time to analyze and examine exactly what I was trying to do online, what I wanted to do with my brand. And if I'm being honest, when I first started this journey, I just knew I had a story, I was in shape, and I could talk good, and I wanted to make a lot of money. And honestly, quite frankly, that's not a good space to be in when trying to do anything, start a brand, anything. Money shouldn't be the focus. I shouldn't be the focus. You know what I mean? And even though I wanted to make money and I have made money online, I didn't have a plan or a set idea what I wanted to do with the money. And I read in a book, I don't know if it was Transurfing or another book, where it just talks about wanting money and making money is good, but you should never just be okay with just saving and making a bunch of money because it could fuck you off. And that's literally what happened when I first made my first 10K month, and that's why I haven't been able to do it again because I just got so caught up in chasing the money, right? And that's not the type of person I am. I learned a long time ago when I was selling drugs and trapping that money isn't gonna fix anything because all the times I've had hella money, it's usually tethered to the most painful times in my life, right? So I know that that's not the case, but since I had a system, I was taught a system. I have mentors in this space, and they taught me a system one taught me a system that generated me a good amount of money in the fastest time I've ever seen it, faster than selling any drugs, faster than any of that shit, right? So I got addicted to that, right? I have a very addictive personality, and that kind of led me, you know, away from myself, right? And being that I had this time to be quiet, it gave me time to reflect and introspect and really understand, why am I doing this? What am I doing online, right? And I feel like when it comes to the online space, info space, anything you do online, I truly believe a lot of people online weren't really anyone before they were something online. Like a lot of people who do stuff online, they and I don't want to make it sound like I'm fullest myself, but I save souls. I save souls through mindset, fitness, and nutrition. I do that online, and I've been doing it for a year. But for 9 years before that, I did the same thing not for free. It was for my family's nonprofit, and then just working in the mental health and recovery space, right? I do a lot of speaking about my life story and just what I've been through. Like I was strung out on dope as a child and I changed my entire life around. We all know the story. Got clean, went to college, got my master's degree, went pro overseas, right? And all that stuff is great, but it it's bigger, and that was all pre posting shit online. And I just feel like if I stop posting online, like I'm still who I am, right? I'm still, all that stuff matters, all that stuff still counts. And like granted, making money online is great, but it doesn't give you the right to be a shitty person, doesn't give you a right to talk to people and treat people the way you want, way any way you want to. And it doesn't give you a right to inflate your ego. And the mentors I have in this space, one is a young man. He's 22 and he's a hell of a dude, right? He's a great individual. He taught me so much and I'm forever grateful for him. But today he kicked me out of his school community, not just me, but he kicked everybody out who had been on for a period of time and didn't upgrade because he just scaled up his entire brand, right? As he's supposed to do. That's what you do in entrepreneurship, right? So I have no harm, no foul there. I respect that. But the other mentor I have kind of, like I was working with my first mentor for a year straight, and right at the year mark, I hit 10K a month, right? But right before that, I kind of got discouraged. I got in my head, listened to the noise. I jumped on with this other mentor for like a fraction of the price, right? And as soon as I got in there, I knew like this is off. This doesn't seem right. It didn't sit right with me. You know what I mean? But I wasn't in the right space to really understand it or catch it in time because I was full of myself. I was chasing money. You know what I mean? I had my mind focused on other shit, rather than the goal, which is just saving souls, helping people, right? And then this mentorship is kind of a bunch of it was nothing. There was no real product, no real value, and being that, I got my wisdom teeth out, I had this time to sit, reflect, and think. And with the assistance of another mentor, I had to dispute the payment. Like I had to get a refund because like there's no value compared to the first mentorship. When I get in there, you get a call with minimum 30 people in it, school community, 8 to 12 modules, 3-hour long modules full of valuable information, access to a Notion dashboard that you could white label and create for your own community, right? The second community just came with the Instagram group chat, a DM note script, and 2 calls a week. And it was just basically him telling us like post catchy shit and send DMs, right? Which is not the way to do it. Everybody knows if you send a certain amount of DMs on Instagram, they're gonna flag, ban, or fucking deactivate your account. And that's literally what happened to this mentor. When I first jumped on with him, he had 70K followers, but now he's just grown his page back to 2,000 as of today, which is great. And everybody knows in the info space, it's not about going viral. It's not about growing your followers. It's literally the opposite of what you want to do. But if you're just trying to chase money, then yeah, you want to grow your following as big as possible. You want to send as many DMs as fast as possible and collect as much cash as fast as possible, right? But when you have a real system in play, you don't need to grow your Instagram. You don't need to send DMs. You don't need to do any of that, right? But this guy didn't know all that, right? And granted, he's done great, and like as a person, he's a good dude, I believe, you know what I mean? But I just feel like in this space, he needs to learn a little bit more. It's like a lot of the things he was teaching us were the same things in my first mentorship, saying, do not do that. Watch out for these type of people. He was basically the type of guy who made like a couple grand online and felt he had the authority to teach people how to scale their brand and business. But it's like, if you've never made 100K, what are you going to do? How can you scale? Like we're not in this game to make 15K a month. You know what I mean? He wasn't even doing 10 or 15K a month consistently. It's like he was learning on the ground level with us at the same time, just like throwing shit at a fucking whiteboard and seeing what sticks. You know what I mean? Rather than having a real system and a blueprint with trackable steps. You know what I mean? And data you could look back at and see exactly where you're at and what you're doing. You know, and ultimately, this all came from me having the time to sit down, be quiet, and not talk, right? And I've put a plan together, and I'm getting back to the root, right? The root is saving souls, and I've done some great stuff. I got a decent physique, right? But like, I'm not about to do no song and dance online and like manipulate you into making you think I'm the best coach, bro. Like, Cause you could fucking Google or Chat GPT a fucking better workout than I can create. You know what I mean? But I'm just gonna show you guys exactly what can happen when you put your personal development first. Give yourself the space to learn and grow. And I'm just gonna document that, bro. And if you want what I got in your own right, bro, I will show you how I did it. You know what I mean? It's that simple. There's nothing else to it. You know what I mean? Um, and I just wanted to come on here to reiterate that in a more concise and a more controlled manner than I did in the last video. I kind of went on a rant about a whole bunch of other shit that didn't matter, you know. And this all comes from, getting my wisdom teeth taken out. And the things that this situation has removed from my life have been are things that my family has dealt with for years. My family's going to continue to deal with these things. I'm going to continue to deal with this problem regardless. You know what I mean? But being that, I had to do what I had to do to get my wisdom teeth taken out, gave me time away from it. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I needed because I wasn't able to remove myself from the situation, And it's just put, everything into perspective. That, and on top of that, like, dude, my lady, bro, I got this girlfriend, bro, and she's fucking amazing, bro. Like, it's like I fucking Dexter's Laboratory. I had my lab and I put sugar and spice, everything nice, like the Powerpuff Girls, and made a fucking perfect woman, bro. And I'm blessed. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because all this shit is happening at the same time, bro. I promise you, I was not interested or looking for a woman, bro. I didn't even try to get at this girl. You know what I mean? And granted, like, it came, like, in the beginning, it looked like something you're not supposed to do, right? For the simple fact, like, she dated one of my close friends a long time ago, over 5 years ago. But it's like I didn't meet this girl through my friend. I knew her before she even knew my boy. You know what I mean? And I always knew, like, if somehow it happened, I'd have to sit my boy down and tell him, you feel me? And that's exactly what I did, before we even hung out. Like, I only seen her in the gym, and then I had to let my boy know, like, yo, this is what I'm planning on doing, you feel me? And as a courtesy, because of you, who you are in our relationship, I'm gonna tell you, and at the end of the day, as a man, I didn't have to do that, but, like, that's my brother and I love him to this day. You feel me? He's a little mad right now, but with time he'll get over it. I know he'll get over it because my ex just got pregnant by one of my friends, and he didn't do it that way, bro. He literally snaked me, you know what I mean? Asking me weird questions like, when am I coming back to Kansas, this, that, and the other. And it's like, if he would have just told me, like, and he tried to disguise the question as if he was trying to give me a job opportunity. And then even after that, because the girl would talk to me about the dude, I had to let him know, like, bro, like, I get, you know what I mean? We're not together, but, bro, we still talk and this, that, and the third. And he gave me his word like he wasn't gonna do what he did, and he ended up doing it. He told me after he did it, shout out to him for having some type of fucking balls or whatever. But I would have respected it more if he would have just, the day he asked me about that stupid job opportunity, if he would have just been like, hey, Ray, I'm feeling your ex. You live in California. We're out here, and I don't know what, if he would have just told me straight up then, it would have been more respectable, more commendable as a man. But I can't expect everyone to be like me or think like me. This kid is from Topeka, Kansas. He's a fucking square ass white, black and white dude. Doesn't have no relationship with his black side of the family. So you know what I mean. Um, and by all means, like, that's in the past, bro. Like, it doesn't even matter. And that's how I know my boy will get over it. Cause, like, I got over it. It was literally a year ago, and, like, me and this girl were literally talking. You feel me? We were talking 1 month, like, last year in February. Then by March, she was dating my boy. You know what I mean? So I know my boy will get over it, but this girl has just brought so much peace, so much structure, so much focus to my life. And I've already been focused, I've already been structured, but my life had no peace, no balance. It was always like on an emotional roller coaster, right? And she's definitely helped, you know, um streamline my focus, streamline a lot of things in my life, right? Not because I'm trying to do it for her, but it's just a part of the type of man I want to become. That's what this is all about, bro. This is all about doing the work to become the man that deserves the woman I got, doing the work that to become the man that deserves the type of money I want, doing the work to become the man that deserves the type of lifestyle I think I want, and that's my main focus. That's always been my main focus. And since I've been home, I haven't been doing nothing else. Like, I could have, We live in this era where everybody wants to make it look like they got it so fucking figured out, bro. I'm 29 years old and you don't know. I see every day people posting fucking accidental babies, fucking stupid ass relationships, stupid ass houses, stupid ass cars that they went in debt for just so they look like they got their shit figured out by 30. Newsflash, brother, it's 2026. You don't gotta have your shit figured out by 30 anymore, bro. You can literally do whatever the fuck you want in this life, bro. And while there's kids in high school driving back to back Urises to fucking their prom, I want my peace, bro. I don't give a fuck. I didn't sign up to fucking be normal. I didn't sign up to settle. I didn't sign up to 9 to 5 in my whole life and fucking be in the middle class my whole life, just like my mom. I love my mom, but I don't want to live like my mom lived. I don't want my kid raised in Gilroy, bro. You know what I mean? I love my hometown, but I want better for myself and for my family. You know what I mean? And that's the main focus. And I just don't understand how people I've grown up with and people I was so alike that we get 30 and we're just so different now. And that's kind of the shit I've been dealing with and like having let like fucking get in my head and let throw me off. You know what I mean? Um and this blessing that came from getting my wisdom teeth out was just the space, bro. The space, the silence, because like when I was in that program, the first thing they told me was like, sit on your hands, take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth and shut the fuck up. Don't move, don't do nothing, bro. Just listen. If you listen long enough, you might learn some new information that could save your life, bro. And that's what I needed, bro, because I've been doing a lot of talking and I know I got some good shit to say. I know I could save souls, you feel me? But it's like at the end of the day, like I need to listen to, I need to watch, I need to pay attention, bro. And a lot of the best lessons have come from pain and like hardship, but it comes from that space where I just sit with myself, right? And I get to examine why did I do this? How did I do that? That's exactly how I got in this position. That's exactly how I got with my woman. You feel me? Like I didn't, when I was single, I wasn't just using it as an excuse to just be a womanizing hoe. You feel me? I really examined why am I single? Why did I cheat on this girl and every other girl I've been with? Why is my relationship with relationships so fucked up? You feel me? And I did the work necessary to become the man I am today to attract the type of woman I have, bro. And if you've seen her, you would just be like, damn, like this is exactly what this fool needed. You feel me? And it's one of the biggest blessings I've ever gotten. And it's the first time in my life I could say a blessing has came from like a positive situation. You know what I mean? Usually when something good happens, it comes from like the work I do and I take it as like another badge of honor. Like I did that, you know what I mean? And this is not like that. You feel me? This was just something that God gave to me when I didn't know I needed it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what the video was about. And I want to go into more detail and give everything, but I just cannot yet, bro. Like I can't yet because I will fuck up a lot of shit in my life. You feel me? And until I'm in position, where it's fully functioning and I'm fully in control of everything, then I'll be able to tell the entire story. But until then, like this is how I gotta shoot it, bro. And I just want to let you know, like blessings come usually after pain, bro. My wisdom teeth are growing like this, and it took them 4.5 hours to get my bottom two out. It was a very painful situation. I was numb, but it's been a fucking horrible week. But at the same time, it's been the best week I've had lately. I've had the best amount of sleep the past 3 days, and it's like I popped up, woke up, got out of bed to shoot this video again, and I'm only gonna get 5 hours of sleep tonight. I usually get 6, but I'm not worried because like I know where I'm at mentally, physically, and spiritually. I know where I'm headed, right? I got clarity. There's the clarity I needed. Um, and and granted, all that shit happened with the mentors, but like I have no quit in my heart. That's why this is called Stay Down Fitness, bro. It's good, bad, or indifferent, bro. Whatever you're going through, you see it out. You don't tuck your tail. You don't go out backwards. You handle your business. You feel me? And I'm in this entrepreneurship for life, bro. Like that's the only way to break out the matrix. That's the only way to create something of substance for myself and for my family and for my community, right? So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna run up a bag and I'm gonna get another mentor, right? Because I don't got it figured out. If I got it figured out, I wouldn't be, still trying to accumulate another 10K month. I'd be scaling, 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 right? So that's just what I gotta do, and that's just what you should do, bro. Like this is about having the mindset and the discipline and structure to go through any fucking storm, bro. Like have any go through any storm and be okay. You feel me? Whether it goes your way or not, have a system in place that keeps you in your process, that keeps you in the solution rather than focusing on the problem and the shit you can't fix. You need a system in play that'll keep you focused and dialed and headed towards the direction you want to go. And that's exactly what I teach inside of my program. And it starts in the gym because the same things we learn in the gym, those first 90 days to stick to a plan, stick to a diet, can translate to every area of your life, bro. And the fucking byproduct is the muscles, the byproduct is the veins, the byproduct is the abs, bro. And that just continues to give you more confidence and more happiness to go towards these goals. Because I'm telling you, it's way different when you're striving for goals and striving for success and you actually love the way you look in the mirror, when you can actually get on camera and talk and know you look good, to your own right, not to anyone else. Just have a physique, have a structure about yourself that you are proud of and you admire, because why? You did the work to get it, bro. That's what Stay Down Fitness is. And I just wanted to reiterate that in a more concise manner for my people, because I feel like some days I do be just running off emotion, and that's not the space you need to be in. That's not righteous. That's not right. You know what I mean? So I'm just blessed, super blessed to be in this position, super blessed to be the man I am today, and super blessed to have all the things I have, even the things I don't have. You feel me? I know the things I don't have and the things I want that I don't have are on the way, because I'm working for them. I'm doing the work, and it's evident. If you look at my track record, if I look at my track record, you feel me? Like, God has only given me exactly what I wanted. As long as I did the work, as long as I stayed in the solution, as long as I stayed in the process. You feel me? So, Stay Down Fitness, baby. That's what this is about. That's what I wanted to come on here and tell you guys. Like, granted, I went through all this pain. Granted, I couldn't talk. Granted, I couldn't make content the way I did. It was the biggest blessing, and that's how God works, bro. He's always gonna do for you what you can't do for yourself. And that's literally what he did with my lady, bro. Like, I didn't know I needed a lady, bro. I didn't know, like, I wasn't planning on getting a girlfriend again until I was like 30 something, 31, 32, or whatever. You feel me? But like, this shit just happened the way it was supposed to, because things are always happening the way they're supposed to. Things, life is always happening for us, not to us. And it's never punishment, it's always positioning, right? I was listening to Johnny Chain this morning, and he was telling you, like, he was talking about, like, God's gonna break you down. He's gonna show you exactly who you are, and force you to fucking choose righteousness, force you to choose God and follow God. And that's literally what he did, bro, because I thought I was good, I thought I was righteous, but after my dad died, bro, my brother died, and all my homies died, I hadn't been praying, I hadn't been talking to God, I hadn't been doing nothing for God, bro. And this last week, last couple of days, I've been praying again consistently. I prayed before I passed out right now, but I woke up, so I'm gonna lay back down and I'm gonna pray again. You feel me? Because that's what this is about, bro. This is about, like it's about God. It's about being righteous. It's about being good. Like, and everything else is second nature, bro. Everything else will come. You feel me? As long as I keep, focus on the right things, focus on, put God first, and just keep the main thing, which is saving souls with my story, saving souls with the things I've been through, my experiences, right? So I'm not about to, like I said, I'm not about to be on here fucking acting and getting out of my body and getting out of character and doing weird ass skits to trick you to think like I'm the best guy for you, bro. Like, because I might not be, bro. I want guys like me. I want guys who are serious. I want guys who are willing to go through it, to grow through it, bro. You feel me? Like, guys who ain't got no quit in them, bro. Like can't stop, won't stop, push, pull, strive. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Like, that's what I represent. That's what I'm on. And that's exactly how I push my guys in my community, bro. Um, so at the end of the day, like, shit, if no one told you they love you, just know I just did.